Well guys, the day is actually coming and probably a little sooner than everyone was thinking. Although this might set some people off at first, Dodge has officially teased a 2024 EV muscle car called the eMuscle.
Dodge will launch the world's first full battery electric muscle car.
Although at the moment there's unfortunately not a ton out about what's to come, there's absolutely enough exciting stuff from the teaser to talk about. Especially when you combine it with the EV equipment Stellantis has in its arsenal and other announcements, and today I'm going over all that. Let's get into it. It's kind of hard figuring out where to start with everything, so first we'll just go with the teaser and how they lead into it in their 2021 Dodge EV Summit video. Their focus leading into the announcement and teaser is that it's obvious at this point that electric motors can give them more and that they want to provide their customers with the most power and performance possible, even if that means changing up their tools. If you haven't seen the teaser yet, I'd say definitely check it out. The actual lead up to the teaser is cool, and it's nice to hear the nuances of how they talk about the decision, but at least watch the teaser that they posted again separately. For a quick recap, the whole point of the video is asking why Dodge, the company whom many would consider to be the best muscle car makers out there, would actually make an EV. At the end of the video, it says, "Performance made us do it." And my first thought was, I respect that. For anyone who's watched more than like 3 of my videos, it's probably obvious I'm all about that American, freedom-making, earth-pounding, bald eagle screaming muscle car sound.
Hell yeah, brother!
But I've said many times, I have faith in what Dodge will do, and they managed to somehow announce this in a way that I'm completely on board with what's out there so far. And I'm not even a fanboy. If they pulled some BS, I'd like to call them on it. But I love Dodge's focus and how they present themselves, so I think they'll do it right instead of completely messing up making an electric muscle car. Before getting more into that though, I'll continue with the small but important details about their concept from the teaser. Probably the most prominent part of what they show of the car is that glowing logo in the front and back. For the younger crowd who, like me, might not know what this is at first glance, it's the old Fratzog logo Dodge used in the 60s and 70s. It's apparently a type of nod to the future for them, and if you look at the comments in their videos, a lot of people seem really hyped to have it back. Around the front logo is a very retro-looking front end that most people say reminds them of an old classic Charger, which I think is the best car they could base something off of. To see just a little bit more of it, they also show the front corner of a cover being lifted from an unknown car at the beginning of the EV Summit video. When I got a quick first look at it, it looked to me like just one of the newer Charger Hellcats, but after pausing the video and actually looking at it, I know it's not. Other people were also saying it didn't look like the car spinning its wheels in the teaser video, but we'll just have to wait and see. Speaking of spinning its wheels, the video clearly shows not 2, not 3, but all 4 of the wheels spinning. So that must mean this Dodge eMuscle car will be all-wheel drive.
The prophecy is true.
Other than that, there seems to be a pretty cool type of elevation or bulge in the hood to build even more on that muscle car feel. On the all-wheel drive topic though, it's fairly easy to understand why they do that, at least for the quickest trim. It's expected they'll use the STLA large platform Stellantis has, which should give up to 500 miles of range. The 0 to 60 time they're talking about for this car is around 2 seconds for the top trim, which considering the amount of horsepower, the technology out now, and everything that's still to come between now and when they reveal it in probably 2023, I'd say that's absolutely realistic for Dodge. It's currently unknown if it'll be a 2-door or a 4-door, but my guess is they'll do things similarly to how they put the Hellcat engines and stuff. They'll start with a 2-door, then drop that power in a sedan and see how it does, and after that, they'll experiment with SUVs or trucks. Like I said, I'm happy with how they're doing this stuff so far and how they clearly have respect for their history, even though they want to move forward. As long as they don't pull some insanely stupid BS like, I don't know, if they make a 4-door SUV and then try to slap an iconic muscle car name on it because they turn into a bunch of attention-obsessed moronic
6.5 hours later.
Then I'll probably be alright with their process for all this. As far as the transition from Hellcat engines to electric motors goes, word from Mopar Insider is that the first car the Hellcat engine will be leaving is the Trackhawk. The Durango Hellcat was just a 1-year deal, and apparently Jeep wanted the engine for the new Grand Cherokee, but Stellantis wasn't really for it. As long as they don't use this name on an SUV, one cool idea comes from them trademarking the CUDA name not too long ago. The other thing I wondered about involves the noise. I fully expect Dodge to create some noise coming from around where an exhaust would be that'll mimic the sound of a Hemi V8, but I can't completely decide if I want that or not. Yeah, it'd be great if electric cars could sound and feel like muscly V8s, and there's all the talk of them needing some type of sound at lower speeds for safety reasons, but I'm torn about a few things. Do I think it'll sound good and work? And the even harder question, do I think it's the right thing to do for the direction of muscle and performance cars?
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
As far as how well it works, I haven't heard any engine mimicking speakers in person, so I've got no clue how accurate they are. But I do know it'll probably suck to have to fix those speakers if they ever break, because I'd probably drive the car to be as loud as possible. For whether or not I think it's fitting for the situation, I'll definitely have to think about it more. Even though I absolutely do think we all need loud, pounding engine sounds in our lives, part of me thinks it'd just be more appropriate to embrace whatever sounds come from electric performance cars if there are any. Muscle cars make an incredible noise, and if I could choose, I'd have them stay around forever, but that to me feels almost like trying to replace someone who passed away by dressing up someone else just like them. Also, while making this video, I realized something. I know Dodge had their hearts in a good place for this, but in doing it, they very well might have sped up the process to killing V8 muscle cars. Ford completely screwed up with their Mach-E crap, but I'd bet this will seriously kickstart the EV performance competition between Chevy, Ford, and Dodge. Once that happens and each one is shooting to get the best electric muscle car, it'll just keep going from there. As far as my view on electric cars, I used to be 100% against them, and I would have acted all upset and devastated if I found out about something like this. But at this point, I say to each their own as far as internal combustion or electric cars, but I don't think I'd ever buy an electric car as my fun car. I've got my eyes set too hard on a C7 Vet because on top of the awesome looks and feel, the way a car sounds is so important to me. A lot of people also seem to be upset about people calling an EV a muscle car, but at this point, you have to decide. Electric vehicles are coming either way, and do you want the phrase a muscle car to be some old discontinued thing from the past, or do you want it to grow and expand with time? I used to always talk about how electric car batteries are terrible to make for the environment and how you have to get the electricity from somewhere, so instead of burning stuff in your engine, they'll just do it at a power plant. But for everyone else who thinks this, it'd be worth checking out Donut Media's video, Are Electric Cars Really Better for the Environment? Because they get into all that stuff. The quick recap for the emissions is that harmful stuff produced in order to recharge electric cars is way less than what's made by internal combustion engines. Although right now the world obviously isn't ready for all cars to be electric, it's farther ahead and more efficient than most people, including me, would have thought. Let me know how you guys feel about Dodge's eMuscle car and where muscle cars should go from here. Should the name muscle car die with the V8 or should it continue, and do you agree or disagree with any of my opinions? For anyone new to the channel, I upload American car content and news like this every week. If you have questions or requests, leave a comment below or send me a DM on Instagram. As always, thank you guys all so much. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you all next week. Have a great day.